Hey, are you afraid of change? I'm going to explain to you today why human nature is wired to be afraid of change and how and why you need to get over it. Don't move. Go. Hey, welcome to the I Am Podcast, where we answer the questions about spirituality and inner peace you ever wanted to ask, and where we discover the secrets of humanity and divinity through a better understanding of both. I'm your host, Sean Webb. Okay, so why are you afraid of change? Why is everyone afraid of change? Well, it's wired into us to be afraid of change. Not being afraid of change specifically, but here's how the process works. We have this brain, right? And this brain is designed to help us survive in an ever-changing environment. The brain has two sections to it when we come into life. The first section has a ton of intelligence in it, and that intelligence is designed to work our immune system, our nervous system, our respiratory system, our circulatory system, our digestive system, all the things that we need to keep us alive when we're separated from mommy. And the second portion is the empty part that is designed to help learn and store and figure out the things about ourselves and our environment. Now, why would we need to figure out the things about ourselves and our environment? Well, our environment is an ever-changing thing. And so we need to have the adaptability to be able to figure out to be afraid of a bear or to be afraid of a saber-toothed tiger, whichever exists during the time frame that we lived here on this planet. And so we need to be able to figure out that we can't run faster than a saber-toothed tiger. And so there's going to be a minimum distance that we can be from a saber-toothed tiger. And if we get within that minimum distance because we saw somebody else do it, we die. And so knowing that type of information is productive for self-preservation and for propagation of the species for our continued survival. Okay? So our brain builds definitions of our world and builds definitions of ourself. Now, ancient spiritual teachers would often call this definition of self ego. Modern psychology calls it sense of self. But in any event, when we have changes in our environment or changes to ourself, fear occurs. Now, why does that occur? Okay, so let's talk about fear for a second. Fear, the definition of fear is anytime that a valuation of self is brought into question, anytime the mind questions any attachment to yourself, that the valuation is about to be decreased, fear occurs. Okay, so now, what does change bring to our environment? Change brings an uncertainty. Ooh, what's going to happen to ourself when this change occurs? Well, it's better to not change things because we know that we're surviving when the environment is as it is and our self is as it is. And so if we change any of those things, then we got to figure this stuff out all over again. And we don't want to do that. And what if this change brings a devaluation of self? That's where the fear comes in, okay? And that's why we're pre-wired to be afraid of change. But here's the reality about change. Regardless of how good your life is, the only way to make it better is to change stuff. To change the shitty job, the shitty relationship, the shitty monetary position that you have, the shitty whatever that your life is connected with. The only way to make things better in your life is to change the way you think, to change the way you see things, to change the way you do things, to change the environment that you're in, whatever. The only way to make things better and to make other people's lives better is to change stuff. And so we have to get over this fear. We have to get over the innate wiring that says, don't change anything. Everything's cool. I'm surviving right now. Because without change, we stagnate. You know, this time last year, the sun was about where it was in the sky today, right? But the reality of that situation is we're revolving around a sun that is also revolving around the suburbs of a galaxy called the Milky Way, which in itself is hurtling through the universe at breakneck speeds towards another galaxy. We're going to merge someday. Okay, so we are nowhere near where we were last year at this time. Weather might be similar, although it's getting hotter. But you know what I'm saying? You get the point that I'm making. We are nowhere near where we were last year. Change in this universe is constant. The only thing that never changes in the universe is the fact that everything is always changing. You can never step into the same stream twice. You can never look out into the same universe twice. Something has always changed from one moment to the next. And I propose your life should be like that. And you should devoid yourself of this thing called fear of change. Because change is good. Change is the only way things can get awesome. I hope you guys are having a great week. I love you immensely. I'm going to be putting out a book. This will be my first book, How Emotions Work. Look at it. Look for it on Amazon here in the next few days. And it's going to explain how emotions work in humans and for computer programming of emotions, by the way, which is going to be a first in the world from a causation standpoint. So give that a look, see if you're interested. I'm going to also put out another book very soon on how to create this same, or take the same science and create common sense changes to affect your life, which is going to be much awesomer. This is just for some tech folks who are interested in programming emotions. Hope things are well. Talk to you guys next week. Love you. Peace.